Derek Carr has been one that was blessed with one of those great careers that consist of timing as far as contracts are concerned in the NFL. This man made over $200 million in his career despite not being established as one of the top leaders of an NFL offense. Wow, $200 million. Yeah, he made Pro Bowls, he made it all pro, but he was never known as one of those top leaders, a top quarterback. And always remember what I told y'all. Always remember, believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. None of what you hear, half of what you see. Yeah, we're talking about Derek Carr. A few weeks ago, Derek Carr was just preaching to an audience that people were lying about him and so on and so forth. But his objective was to spread awareness about people attacking others, not knowing what that person may be going through. So let's check it out. Saints Derek Carr says in a sermon that people are lying about him and his shoulder injury. He says people are lying about him and his shoulder injury. Derek Carr continues. This is a couple of days after the NFL draft, and this is what he had to say. I hate that I have to say this, but I have to say this. Yes, I have a shoulder injury, Carr said while delivering a guest sermon at a church in Las Vegas on Sunday. I have an MRI report to reprove it, Carr continued. The team knows about it. We've been in constant communication. There's nothing wrong. We're figuring it out, and we're going to go forward with that. Is that okay? Derek Carr continues. I've been dealing with people lying about me, and I'm like, Lord, why do I have to continue to deal with this nonsense? Carr continued. You never know what someone's really going through. And so why do people continually try to attack people? And I would say attack people that are maybe trying to do things the right way. That's what Derek Carr had to say. And that, like I said, that was 2 days after the draft. And maybe he was feeling a certain way. He seen that the Saints had to draft a quarterback. And after all that preaching and accusing people of lying on him, Derek Carr has decided to retire from the National Football League. And y'all won't believe this part. Y'all won't believe what I'm about to tell y'all if y'all haven't heard already. This is the most unbelievable part. Some people get blessed, like I said, that timing for Derek Carr, just impeccable, man. Just impeccable. $200 million. Now, not only is Derek Carr retiring, he has forfeited his $30 million salary that was fully guaranteed. Yes, you heard me right. He has retired and he is forfeiting his $30 million guaranteed salary. I can't make this up. I can't make this up. We can't make this up. And the New Orleans Saints obviously knew about Derek Carr's shoulder situation, and Derek Carr not playing this season could possibly be a scenario for the team. And when speculations first hit the news about Derek Carr's shoulder injury and the possibility of him missing this season, we all thought that it was a clear indication that the Saints would take Shedeur Sanders with the 9th pick in the NFL draft. We all thought that when we heard about Derek Carr and his shoulder injury, and I guess this is when people was lying on him. People was coming out and saying Derek Carr was out for the season. Instantly, everyone looked right to Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders is going to the Saints. At the 9th pick, they need a quarterback. Shedeur Sanders, it was already written in stone that Cam Ward was kind of going to Tennessee Titans. But instead of the New Orleans Saints drafting, the New Orleans Saints drafted Tyler Shuck, with a quarterback with the 2nd round pick. They didn't take Shedeur Sanders, right? They took Tyler Shuck, a quarterback with the 2nd round pick. Forget Shedeur Sanders, right? And we don't know much about Tyler Shuck. He played his last season at the University of Louisville. He's like a 5th-year senior. And after that quarterback was selected, right? We got all antsy, wondering, when will Shedeur Sanders be selected? Because who the hell is Tyler Shuck? At least that's how we felt at the time during the draft, right? We got very antsy when Tyler Shuck got selected and the Saints took him because we thought, shit, if they're not going to take him with the 9th pick, at least in the 2nd round, Shedeur Sanders will be a Saint. You feel me? At worst, if he falls to the Saints will take him. Right? Because who the heck is Tyler Shuck? That's how we felt. No offense to Tyler, I'm just talking and we vibing out. Then we assume Tyler Shuck, right, will be Derek Carr's backup, but the Saints were looking for someone to come in and start immediately. We had no clue. Derek Carr was pulling the wool over our eyes, man. We had no freaking clue. Check this out. Derek Carr gives up $30 million to retire. Yes, $30 million. And he actually didn't have to retire. He's doing the team a favor. Per a source with knowledge of this situation, Carr's retirement comes with an agreement regarding his contract. In a nutshell, he'll give up $30 million in fully guaranteed pay. That was his base salary for 2025, which the Saints opted to convert mostly prorated payment in March. Carr will keep a $10 million roster bonus he earned in March. Also, the Saints will not seek to recover any of the remaining allocations of his $28.5 million signing bonus, which he received in 2023. Carr could have undergone shoulder surgery, not played this year, pocketed the $30 million, and made a decision about the future at some point down the road next season. That's exactly what Carr could have done and kept that $30 million. And I know it seems strange and it seems weird that Derek Carr can just walk away from $30 million. But some people are just blessed with that time. And like I said, he's made over $200 million with this $10 million roster bonus that he just received. I think that equals a total of $200 million. And no, he was never that guy. In Oakland, at the Saints, But shout out to Derek Carr, man. He had a blessed career, a very successful career, man. A lot of people don't get to play in the NFL and do the things he did. So you got to give him a shout out, give him his just due. He's, it's a couple of days since he retired, man. So shout out to Derek Carr, man. But we got to commentate. We have to commentate and deliver, baby, because what is going on in New Orleans? And to the people who haven't played football for the majority of their lives, right? I understand it seems crazy, ridiculous, asinine, and whatever else you want to call it, from the outside looking in, for Derek Carr not to go get this money. I know it seems crazy, but y'all don't understand the challenges we all go through and we deal with mentally and physically playing football. It becomes a routine for some of us, that we get tired of despite the potential income that we can earn. We get tired of this routine. Despite it doesn't matter. Obviously, we already made a lot of money and we touched a lot of money. We've seen what it felt like to accomplish this thing that we've been dreaming about our whole lives, right? So I know it seems funny and weird that you could just walk away from $30 million like that, right? But it becomes a time when some players are just ready to transition to that new life and take on a new challenge. I was like that, man. I could have continued to play and went team to team, and I was just ready to take on that new chapter in my life. Understand what I'm saying? I was ready to come home and deal with all the things that being home was about, And if players, and this is the crazy part, about football, because you grow up just loving football, your whole life. And when we get to the point where we don't love football anymore, it becomes a very stressful job. And meanwhile, we're all stressed out about this job and debating whether we want to continue to play or not. Our brothers is on our left and is on our right, and they are depending on us to go out there and deliver our best. And we don't want to let them down. And we start off playing football for fun, and then it becomes a business, right? We start off playing football for fun, and then it becomes a business. Then you have people pulling you this way, leaning you this way, trying to give you advice, what you should not do. Understand what I'm saying? Yeah, that's how it goes. So just looking from the outside, trying to look in and understand where he's coming from, you can't understand that. Him walking away from $30 million, you can't understand that. I mean, it seems weird to me. I couldn't have walked away from $30 million. That is asinine to myself. You understand what I mean? I would have went and got that shoulder surgery and called it a day, man. I'd have been the Saints for life. I've been a Saint for life, baby. New Orleans, we here. And now, like I said, we're going to get to the head coach, Kevin Stfansky. He had something to say, and he was asked. This is crazy, y'all. I can't make this up. Head coach Kevin Stfansky was asked basically, what did he see in Dillon Gabriel's career that made him believe Dillon Gabriel can be an NFL quarterback? Watch this, y'all. I can't make this up. I cannot make this up.
If you were to pick one play from Dillon's college career and say, this is why this guy could be an NFL quarterback, which one would you pick?
Yeah, it's hard because, I mean, a couple plays come to mind, and he played long enough where there should be plenty to choose from. But, yeah, I think you should probably, as you look at quarterbacks, I think watching those third down plays are really important in the evaluation of quarterbacks. That's always been that way, and something that I think with our quarterbacks, we definitely value those plays on those money downs when it's in the fourth quarter and you got to make a play.
One more time, y'all. One more time. Please listen up.
His college career and say, this is why this guy could be an NFL quarterback, which one would you pick?
Yeah, it's hard because, I mean, a couple plays come to mind, and he played long enough where there should be plenty to choose from. But, yeah, I think you should probably, as you look at quarterbacks, I think watching those third down plays are really important in the evaluation of quarterbacks. That's always been that way, and something that I think with our quarterbacks, we definitely value those plays on those money downs when it's in the fourth quarter and you got to make a play.
Did y'all hear that? This can't be real. This can't be real. The head freaking coach has a hard time justifying why he selected a quarterback in the third round, Dillon Gabriel. The head coach had a hard time justifying why he selected a quarterback. The thing about drafting a quarterback, they are evaluated much more strenuously than any other position because of how much responsibility that position demands. And he can't figure out what to say besides, we look at third down. Wow. Chat, please talk to me. A response like that is starting to make me believe that maybe there was some talks about not drafting Shedeur Sanders and whatever else about the whole conspiracy theory and whatever else is going on, right? When you hear something like that really have you scratching your head and make you want to have you thinking and wondering what was going on. And I bet $1,000, I bet you $100 or whatever y'all want to bet. There's so many things right off the top of head coach Kevin Stefanski's head that he could have said positive of how he felt about Shedeur Sanders and why he felt like he can be an NFL quarterback. I bet you whatever. Ain't no doubt in my mind, he could have said so many positive things right off the top of his head about Shedeur Sanders. When he was asked about what did he see in Dillon Gabriel, first thing he said was, he had to think about it. And the get out of jail free card was third down. We look at third down. Man, that's wild, man. That is unbelievable.